Stanford University.
One of the goals of our engagement with the Oakland Police Department is to help them to use data to improve police-community relations.
When a police officer makes a stop for alleged traffic violations, they're required to complete a stop data form. And in this form, they record information about where the stop was made, demographic information about the person, their race, whether the person was handcuffed during the stop, whether the person was searched.
We had 28,000 stops we looked at and found there were racial disparities, both in terms of who was stopped, in terms of who was searched, in terms of who was handcuffed, and who was arrested. If we look at the data set on the body-worn camera footage, we had over 270,000 utterances that we looked at in a 1-month period. And we found we were able to predict at above chance levels whether they were speaking to a black person or a white person. They were more likely to mention, say, probation and parole with a black community member than a white community member, yet they were more likely to mention the reason for the stop to a white community member as opposed to a black community member. We didn't find any evidence at all for overt bias, but we did find all this evidence in these subtle ways in which black and white community members were being treated differently. I was able to conduct a training with the Oakland Police Department on implicit bias, and I trained over 90% of the sworn staff. That training was really designed to lift up awareness about how race might play a role in people's perceptions. Implicit bias could be defined as people's thoughts or feelings about a social group that they're unaware of, but nevertheless could influence their decision-making and can influence their behavior. It's different from old-fashioned racism. This is despite intentions. It seems to be something that's fairly pervasive, young and old, and people of all different racial or ethnic groups.
I really believe that the OPD is a leader in this space. Our approach is very much about using science to not only diagnose a problem, but also to try to prescribe a solution.
We've come up with 50 recommendations that we're going to deliver to the city of Oakland and to the Oakland Police Department in particular. They seem eager to actually take the findings and to begin to use those findings to make a difference in terms of their strategy, in terms of their practices, in terms of their policies. And so we feel like we've made a difference.
For more, please visit us at stanford.edu.